I love weirdcore. It's a really niche subculture on the internet, and it can be kind of hard to get into. Liking weirdcore is a pretty acquired taste, but if you want to learn more about it, you've come to the right place. This is the Weirdcore Iceberg Explained. If you've never watched an Iceberg video before, first of all, where the hell have you been for the last 4 years on YouTube? But second of all, it's basically just a way to organize information about a certain topic, where things near to the top are usually more well known, and things closer to the bottom are usually less well known. This iceberg's a little bit different, but it has the same basic idea. And a link to the original iceberg will be in the description. It has a lot of interactive links and stuff, and whoever made it is really, really good, so go check that out for sure. By the way, I'm a little sick right now, hope it's not too noticeable, but we're gonna rock through this anyways. Liminal spaces are images that incite a feeling of loneliness or stress. Typically places of childhood nostalgia, these pictures are characterized by their emptiness. These pictures are dark and eerie, but nostalgic. They exploded on the internet in recent years, and one of these liminal spaces ended up being the image that started the backrooms craze. But more on that later. There's a popular TikTok sound, and if you're on TikTok, you've probably heard it before, that talks about weirdcore. I'll go ahead and play one here. These TikToks sometimes get millions of views, and they bring a lot of people into the hobby/aesthetic of weirdcore, but a lot more on TikTok later. r/weirdcore is the subreddit for all things regarding weirdcore. Most posts in this subreddit consist of original weirdcore art. These images are usually edited photographs, such as some of the images shown on screen. This subreddit is a great place to learn more about weirdcore simply by exposure. Just going on here a little bit every day and scrolling through it really helps you to learn more about it. ENA is a surrealistic animation and game series developed by Joel Guerrera. It employs a mix of 2D and 3D animation to take the viewer on a surreal adventure through weird worlds and landscapes, encountering similarly strange personalities and circumstances via the perspective of the series' main protagonists. ENA is a pretty big project, so I don't have a lot of time to cover the whole thing here, but I'll just play you a clip. I strongly urge you to look up the series for yourself and enjoy it on your own. Don't You Wonder What's Inside is a very iconic and popular weirdcore image that has turned into a starting template. It's definitely one of the most well-known weirdcore images. There have been very many different variations of this image, like this one which I really like. But the original image is one of the best weirdcore images ever created. Its influence and effectiveness is nearly unmatched by any other image. Some backrooms levels have a very weirdcore vibe to them. A lot of them have the vibe, but my personal favorites are level 18, 78, and 94. Also, if you don't know what backrooms levels are, definitely look that up or watch this video by Sagan Hawks. Level 18 resembles a familiar place from one's childhood memory, when they were no more than 10 years old. New memories will form if a visitor has never been to an urban area. Wanderers have reported the level's appearance being that of daycares, preschools, bedrooms, playgrounds, and classrooms. Every traveler will see something different, and the setting that the level decides will be devoid of life. It's impossible to exit the main area where your childhood memory is focused. Attempting to do so will result in you leaving the level. If the wanderer lags or cannot remember any childhood memories, the level's appearance will conform to match the setting of the wanderer's earliest known memory. Level 18 will change form frequently, cycling between many different settings from your childhood. Every setting has one thing in common, being that voices in your head will mimic your interactions from that childhood memory. Unfortunately, there are no ordinary interactions. These interactions are the embarrassing moments of your life that the level forces you to relive. All the mistakes you made, all the regrets you have. You may have forgotten these interactions, refusing to dwell on the bad parts of your life, but level 18 always remembers. Level 78 is described as a strange and warped grassy planet suspended in an endless expanse of blue skies. Level 78 in general is sparsely populated by individual suburban buildings, structures, and strange mushroom-like entities. Unlike some backrooms levels, level 78 is not infinite. Instead, it stretches for a few miles onward before reaching the end. However, no wanderer has ever reached the end of level 78 due to the psychological hazards that occur almost straight away after leaving the spawn area. Individuals who find themselves in this level will first be greeted by a bright sun with a smiling emoji for a face. The spawn area of this level will feel strangely familiar and have a resemblance to the hilly grasslands used as wallpapers by many old Windows desktop computers. This area of level 78 will be completely devoid of entities, besides the smiling sun, but will have an extremely isolating feeling that causes about 12% of wanderers to begin running away in an attempt to avoid the piercing gaze of the ominous sun. Level 94 appears to be a large town, a floating castle on grass hills, but Everything has a grainy effect, as if this place was crafted. The main town is safe with no entities during the day. This town has a big water fountain in the center. This town seems to be in the 1930s in a slow motion type feel. This town has tiny houses with some furniture, mostly in 1930s to 1950s. This town also has 1930s styled cars with milk vans. The town also has siren poles which time to time play happy cartoony music. At this time, everything is safe. Until it turns night. The music will stop completely, and at this time the entity known as the animators will start to appear, and will attack violently if spotted. If you want to check out any other ones for yourself, definitely be sure to check out levels 99, 78, 37.8, 387, 596, 596.1, and 627. Alright, we all know angels from the Bible, right? The women or little kids with cute wings, right? Wrong. This is what an angel actually looks like, according to the Bible. In the book of Ezekiel, it is written, "They sparkled like topaz, and all four looked alike. Each appeared to be made of a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the four directions the creature faced. The wheels did not change directions as the creatures went. Their rims were high and awesome, and all four rims were full of eyes all around. When the living creatures moved, the wheels beside them moved, and when the living creatures rose from the ground, the wheels also rose." Eyes are an extremely common trope in weirdcore art. They come from the biblically accurate angels. These eyes are used to make it seem like you're being watched and always looked at. Most weirdcore images have purposefully bad quality. This stems from an intention to create nostalgia with these photos. Weirdcore, commonly associated with traumacore, obviously makes an emotional pull using trauma. These images are made to remind you of your childhood, so using poor quality in these images makes things a lot more nostalgic. It makes it look like you're inside of an old family photo. The soundtrack to 2004's Yumi Nikki is popular for its glitchy dreaminess, being associated with weirdcore and traumacore. The soundtrack is really well made and really exudes a dreamy, weird vibe. Sanrio is the company that owns characters such as Pom Pom Purin, My Melody, and most popularly, Hello Kitty. Sanrio characters, notably Hello Kitty, are commonly used in weirdcore art because of their common association with childhood. Instupendo is a musical artist who makes music that is commonly associated with the weirdcore aesthetic. His music is definitely worth a listen if you're looking for some new weirdcore music. The Caretaker is a musical project made by Leland James Kirby. His music is in the ambient genre, is extremely dreamy and nostalgic, apparently inspired by the ballroom scene from The Shining. His biggest achievement and his most popular one is a project called Everything at the End of Time. Consisting of 6 different parts, this mind-bending musical project attempts to make the listener feel as if they are experiencing dementia. I haven't personally bitten the bullet yet and listened to it, but from what I've heard, it works. The weirdcore and traumacore aesthetics rely on nostalgia as a main source for the uneasy feelings these aesthetics convey. These images create a longing for one's past, for one's memories, back when everything was more simple and easier. Or, conversely, a reminder back to when everything was terrible. There's a comfort in both of these things, with both relying on nostalgia. In a lot of these weirdcore images, the artist uses black squares to conceal something. It's really creepy to see these squares and to wonder what is covering up. Yeah, weirdcore can be kinda cringy at times, but the aesthetic of just a black square covering something is really eerie. It's uncomfortable more than anything. The romanticization and aestheticization of mental illness and abuse is one of the fundamental criticisms of traumacore. People who value aesthetics may seek out these kind of experiences, endangering their health and invalidating the experiences of those who are traumatized, and would not want anyone to replicate their experience by portraying depression, eating disorders, sexual abuse, etc. as beautiful concepts. Traumacore imagery can make traumatized individuals focus their identity on these unfavorable feelings, which can obstruct attempts at healing and changing their personality from how they were throughout the trauma. However, all that being said, I think traumacore, when used correctly at least by the right people, can be a great tool for helping people overcome trauma. People use traumacore as a way to be comforted through their trauma. Not all people may understand, but for the people who it helps, like me, I'm very glad traumacore exists. Traumacore is titled the way it is because of the feelings it's designed to erect in the viewer's mind. These images are made to remind its viewers of their trauma with contrasting cute visuals in order to give it a bittersweet, tragic vibe. For some people, this can greatly backfire and harm them in a substantial way. Traumacore should be viewed with discretion. There are many playlists online catering to the Weirdcore aesthetic. Some of these are really good, definitely worth checking out a lot of these if you're interested in Weirdcore music. At first, I didn't really know what to expect from Weirdcore music. It's strange for sure, but it's worth checking out. On YouTube, there's a lot of compilations of Weirdcore images with previously discussed Weirdcore music behind them. Or, on TikTok, there are a lot of Weirdcore image compilations with completely unrelated music behind them just to get views. TikTok Weirdcore can really piss me off. On the one hand, it's great that a lot of people are being introduced to Weirdcore, and they may discover an interest in it, but as previously mentioned in the criticism section, not everyone wants to see this stuff. It can definitely be harmful to some people in certain mindsets. I mean, some people are just going on their For You page and they see like some traumacore stuff that can seriously scar them and bring back trauma. I'm not sure what this could be referring to, but I'm pretty sure it's one of the two following things. One explanation is that it could be referring to a massive amount of Weirdcore-inspired games and Roblox made by its players. These games are definitely something. If you're into Roblox, check it out. But if you've ever had an interaction with a woman before in your life, stay with me on the anti-Roblox side. The other explanation is that this could be referring to some videos on YouTube that are recreations of actual car wrecks made in Roblox. These videos are hilarious on first watch, but the more you watch them, the more strange they become. They really embody the energy of a lot of Weirdcore. I'm Feeling Strange refers to this Reddit post. I love this image. It has a deep nostalgia to it, even though I never really grew up around these kind of computers. It just exudes a nostalgic vibe. It also reminds me of the Stanley Parable, which is definitely worth a play or just a watch online if you're interested in Weirdcore or liminal spaces. I've teamed up with Raptimer to help me out in this next section. Definitely check out his channel if you haven't already, and I'll hand it over to him.
Suraslut. Suraslut, also known as June, is an electronic music producer from Australia, inspired by artists like Def Grips. Her years active making music was from 2017 to 2021. Her music was a mix of many genres like breakcore, digital hardcore and speedcore. June has been seen as a very controversial figure in the online music community, with various controversies that caused her to interrupt her internet presence. She used a lot of questionable and downright disturbing samples for her tracks, with unnerving and flashy visuals on many of them. After the death of a loved one, June retired from music completely. Some fans think that June might have passed. However, there are individuals who are still in contact with her and can attest the contrary. Molina, Hey Kids. Molina is an electronic/techno musician from Denmark. She is the singer in the popular song Hey Kids, which is a song many describe to be a dreamy retro song. It is a song often linked with nostalgia or weirdcore because of its beautiful yet haunting melody. Jump In. Jump In is a picture that was posted on the r/weirdcore subreddit in February 2021. It is an abstract picture with appropriate weirdcore aesthetic. This picture gathered a lot of traction, and it is one of the many pictures you can see in Weirdcore picture compilations. Xavier, Renegade Angel. Xavier, Renegade Angel is an American adult computer animated television series. Xavier's body is composed of a lot of different animal body parts, and he presents himself as a shaman-like figure. He goes around helping people in need, but what he actually does is making the situation 10 times worse. He is not a good person, and he is not afraid to kill and do downright horrible stuff to help the people in need. The visuals can get gruesome and disturbing at times. The poor animation quality doesn't exactly help it either. It's a really disturbing but funny show. Memory Simulator. Memory Simulator is a picture posted on the r/weirdcore subreddit. It's a picture of a highly saturated playground with a text. A playground. It is unknown from what year this memory originates. This picture could be an inspiration of the video Weirdcore Simulator by SX Cross. In the video, we follow this tooth fairy and a flower person playing hide and seek. If the flower person loses the hide and seek, the tooth fairy will kill their best friend. It's pretty weird. You should check it out for yourself. Events of 2001. Events of 2001 was also a picture posted on the r/Weirdcore subreddit. It was posted on November 2021, and the text under the image reads, Events of 2001, pictured above. And I have no clue what this image means. It looks like a bedroom and the wall is coming off and there's space behind and stars are flying in. I have no clue. Try to tell me what you think in the comments. Borzoi. A borzoi is a type of dog that the artist Lisa likes to draw and use in her webcomics. She uploaded a webcomic on the page Tumblr, where we can see this white borzoi that glow under the fluorescent gas station lights. It's pretty eerie. The story is that this glowing borzoi comes up to the car that is about to fill gas and asks for payment. The person in the car needs to pay with wisdom, and when the person says something wise, the borzoi let them go. This seems fun might be referring to the sarcastic nature of the caption of the following TikToks. They are disturbing and fitting to the Weirdcore category. So that has been Tier 2, Playful Park. It's only gonna get more disturbing from here.
Your New Home is another Reddit post with some original content. Honestly, this might be my favorite Weirdcore picture. I have huge nostalgia with these types of big cities and these grassy plains. This image puts two contrasting opposites into one picture, but it works perfectly. It's so unsettling. I want to look away, but I can't. It scares me, but it's comforting. r/Weirdcore Circle Jerk is basically just Weirdcore mixed with like super cursed Instagram memes. Like, it's if people who were into Weirdcore just started your mom. There's a Reddit post that emulates a video game select screen with the caption, "Choose your new house." Not much with this one. Maybe I'm missing something? Let me know in the comments if I am. The name of this layer is right. This stressed the hell out of me. You can probably see in the footage playing how scared I was. Anyways, Therapy is a super simple game made by Harper Shin. It's super scary. It's like really well made. It uses the low quality Unity engine to its advantage. It really feels like just weird and nostalgic. It's free. Definitely go check it out and play it for yourself. It's only like a 5-minute gameplay. It's a completely different experience if you're playing it for yourself. Expira Mandem Films is a YouTube channel that very accurately and well transfers the art of Weirdcore images into video. It has the same vibe, but it's not just a Weirdcore image with music behind it. It's its own thing, but with the same Weirdcore flair on it. I love this channel, definitely go check it out. The next few entries are just Reddit posts, so I'll just read the names of them and show them on screen. Not much I can say about these. System properties. I met a god for Christmas. Hellway? Okay, Greetings from the Cornhinge is another Weirdcore game, and I'll just go ahead and put here some footage of me playing it with my friend. I'm not sure if this is referring to the images that have been lost, or simply the sub-niche of Weirdcore art involving a theme of being lost, such as some of these pictures shown on screen, but I love these pictures about being lost. Part of the charm of these images is that you're lost in them, you're stuck. Similar to what I touched on in the Why Do We Love Liminal Spaces video, I really like the idea of being trapped in these nightmarish scapes of reality. This is what Weirdcore really comes down to, isn't it? Our own dreams and nightmares are what started Weirdcore, and it's what'll live on forever. My own dreams is what got me into Weirdcore in the first place. I have a common habit of dreaming of nostalgic places with this feeling of unease. I had this dream of a library I'll never forget. It was definitely from my childhood. It was huge, it was creepy, just like a Weirdcore image. Same thing with a pool. I've had a bunch of dreams consisting of me walking around my grandparents' house, not really going anywhere, but I'm stuck. I can't get out. Nobody is what they should be, and nothing is what it should be. Everything is wrong. These dreams from my childhood may be a form of trauma that has come back in the form of an interest in Weirdcore/Traumacore, or maybe my interest is derived simply in a desire to relive that same feeling of unease. Either way, honestly, thank Jesus for these dreams. I'd be a totally different person if I never had these nightmares. And that concludes the Iceberg. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I post every Sunday night, 6 p.m. EST. I hope you all have a great night, and dream liminally.